Well, Mr. Weiss, look no further. I'm your man. I work fast and I'm a deal. I write and direct, and I'm good.
So Quentin Tarantino has no interest in directing a Marvel movie. Quote, "I'm not a hired hand." I don't think that should come as any kind of shock to anyone that Tarantino would not be doing an MCU movie. He's just not the kind of director that fits the current assembly line mold of Marvel movies at this time, at least in the last year and change. You just can't see anything like that happening. And if it ever did, I mean, you could only imagine it would be like Deadpool, right? Where we could have an R-rated film, or possibly even Blade, if they were to go and maintain that direction for Blade, although it sounds like that film is in deep trouble currently. So let's get into this article from Entertainment Weekly. Basically, he did an interview with the LA Times, and I'm going to quote here, "You have to be a hired hand to do those things," Tarantino said of helming MCU movies. "I'm not a hired hand. I'm not looking for a job."
See ya, and I wouldn't want to be here.
In this case, we kind of come to believe that it's pretty much either Kevin Feige kind of pulling all the strings on each one of those films to a certain extent.
I don't hire directors with burning desires to tell their stories.
So, certainly somebody like Quentin Tarantino is not going to be taking orders from anybody. I mean, if he does any kind of film project, it's 100% controlled by him.
Did you put that together yourself, Einstein? What, you got a team of monkeys working around the clock on this?
I think that would pretty much put the end to any speculation that Tarantino would ever do a franchise film such as an MCU film, or like Star Wars, or, he did toy around with Star Trek at one time, and the article here does bring that up. It said, "That's not to say Tarantino has never considered getting involved in a franchise filmmaking. For a while, he floated the idea of directing a Star Trek film. In the EW's roundtable discussion about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Tarantino said that the Revenant screenwriter Mark L. Smith actually wrote a really cool script, but I don't know if I'll do it or not. But since then, that idea has fizzled out, and though there hasn't been any news about what he plans on directing next, fans of Tarantino's work can currently enjoy his writing, his Once Upon a Time in Hollywood novelization. I highly recommend this book. It's absolutely fantastic, and no, this is not a paid endorsement. But it is great, and I do recommend picking that up. And he's also got a new book coming out, which is Cinema Speculation. So that's a new one, I guess you can catch soon. And there was a little bit of an extra bit of information in the Variety article. Basically, it's digging into the same quotes and stuff. But in this case, he goes on to talk about Star Wars. Actually, he's got a couple quotes in there about Star Wars. Where he says, quote, of course, I like Star Wars, what's not to like, but I remember, and this is not a but in a negative way, but in a good way.
Right.
The movie completely carried me along, and I was just rocking and rolling with these characters. When the lights came on, I felt like $1 million. And I looked around and had this moment of recognition thinking, wow, what a time at the movies. Now, that's not necessarily my favorite exact type of film. At the end of the day, I'm more of a Close Encounters of the Third Kind of guy. Just a bigger idea, and Spielberg setting out to make an epic for regular people, not just cinephiles. Close Encounters was an excellent film, which I, again, highly recommend if you haven't seen. I think it still holds up, even though it was made at the end of the 70s. I don't know if that was 78 maybe. So anyways, there you have it. You're never going to see Tarantino helm an MCU movie. Shocker, I know. If you did like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. It would really help the channel. So until next time, we'll see you on the next one.